Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gaming session. I'm Rangerj1999, and we've got quite a lot to discuss tonight. But before we do that, let's introduce everybody that will be here. Of course, we've got the man with the plan. We think he does. We don't think,
I
I mean,
try
Grande, how come your picture changed to a 77?
because I didn't want to because I was on location
Uh,
at Sith
oh my
headquarters.
God, look at that giant
Yes.
melon.
I-
Holy close up, Batman.
Holy close up, Batman.
Jeez, I think everybody in the chat just threw up. God.
I was I, I was en route to my clandestine destination because I had to do an on-site interview with the three new Sith and see how everything was.
Okay.
So I'm just now making it back. I'm just now making it back to Reality Skewed Gamers,
Uh,
um, South Texas headquarters.
Okay. Where we steal government Wi Fi and play Star Wars Galaxy Heroes.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Also joining us tonight, you know him from the across the pond, the Smith Lord himself, Smithy D. What's up, brother? Smithy D. One more time. Bueller, Smithy D. Smithy D. Okay, we're going to move on from Smithy D, who I think is stealing English government Wi Fi and has been censored. Um, Grandi, you still there?
I'm here. Yeah,
Okay, so,
absolutely.
all right, well, let's introduce everybody else. Of course, you know, Finity's monitoring the chat channel, so anybody who wants to troll, he will troll you back. Also, on top of that, we have two, this is Fan Appreciation Month, so we've got two of our main supporters and fans that are joining us tonight. One you've already heard before, Mr. Prelog. Prelog, what's going on, brother?
Hey guys, not much.
All right,
Just
just chilling.
raging, raging a little bit.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
Raging,
Raging.
raging. I'm raging. It's awesome.
And of course, a very special appearance from one of my brothers from another mother, Mr. MJ himself. Mr. MJ, what's going on, man?
What's up, fellas?
How's
Thank you
everything?
for.
How's everything in the frozen tundra of Minnesota?
It is cold, but the grind is real.
The grind is real, man. And
Uh,
people who don't know who MJ is, most of you do, but he's always in the chat channel. But it was his lovely wife who gave us the greatest picture of humanity that we have had on our stream that you see every time we do the intro. So it was the least we could do to have him on the stream to get his insights. And me and him talk all the time. I said he's my brother from another mother. So we're glad to have him. Smithy, did you come back or are you dead still? Okay,
Still
Smithy.
dead.
Yeah,
Smithy
he's
dropped off.
yeah. Mm. If someone could get Smithy D back, that would be great. All right, so let's do what we always do first. Let's shout out everybody in the chat, which we like to do. We have a first. Jose Odalis Hernandez Caraballo was the first to join the chat channel tonight. Looks like he
No, he
killed your
wasn't.
father.
I was there first, and then
Oh,
Bimasu.
well then never mind. I just was looking at the chat that I had, and it said that. So of course we have Bimatsu, Knights Templar. We already know who Prelog is. We have Nicole Bolas. Thank you for being here. We have the Mighty Panda as well. Of course, there's Finity. He's always trolling. We got Kobe Wan in here. Thank you for being here, sir. Knights Templar. Camulius. That's a new person. Wow. Of course, we have our other main contributor, E. Walken. Glad to have you here again, E. And then, of course, Duncan. Duncan's here as well, so thank you for being here, sir. So thank you all for being here on the stream. I don't know how many people in chat, but just remember that Affinity will troll you, so just be prepared. All right. CG has done it to us again. I think they love us. They love watching this stream because they keep dropping all these juicy, juicy morsels. As you can see on the screen, I have all the stuff up that just popped up when I logged into the game. Uh, Grande,
Yes.
crew,
yes.
holy dog poo.
Yes.
Ugh, who was that? Was
Where's
that Mage
Ducky?
Ducky?
Yeah, I was late. I'm sorry.
Mage, just don't pop in randomly. You gotta let me introduce you, you know.
I didn't want to interrupt stuff. That's all.
Well, you did anyway.
I'm sorry.
All right, for
Well,
those,
somebody has to.
let's introduce Ducky. Mage Ducky, of course, is here, who is the main man with the ship plan. So Thank you for being here, Mr. Mage Ducky. What's going on with you, brother?
Not a whole lot. Just reading up on this new ship, seeing if there are any changes from the data mine.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'll have more to talk about with that later. Other
that
than that,
okay.
nothing.
All right. Well, Grande,
Yes.
do we want to just jump right into this, or they just
I
dropped all this
mean,
stuff,
they dropped out. We had a schedule at one point for today's meeting,
and then this happened.
and then basically everything happened. So if we want to
Let's go into it. It's too much information.
so basically, I think we just need to bring up the update. So let me get this. Let me get the update up. Read the update. The update up.
I've got the things on the from the newsletter on the site. Do you want me to read them, or do you just
Oh
want to read?
well.
Well, go ahead and read. What do you have on the from your update? Go ahead and
So
read the update.
so what I was going to do is I was going to do the this dark side update that we got from EA Jesse. So this is what dropped. Man, the wait was brutal. The wait was brutal, but wait no more. Here's the game update for 2/15/2017. What's new? Peace is a lie.
It is a lie.
This February, we
Goddamn
embrace your passion.
communist.
Through passion, you gain strength. Through
Strength,
strength, you gain power.
power.
And through power, dark side will rise victorious.
My binds are broken.
So,
good old Sith montage. So first, what else does it say? Is just that, or is it going to what I'm showing on the screen here?
So basically, what we've got here is we've got what they talked about from this update, which is basically that we are going to be able to look at Nihilus, and we are going to be able to look at Sith.
Mm-hmm.
But what it goes into more. No, it goes in. It goes into more. Why is my sound on? There we go. Okay. I don't know why my sound all of a sudden came on the show. So we got new characters, right? So characters. The new Sith characters make their way to the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in our Lord of Hunger event. With the information on this event, please see EA Jesse's information post. For a sneak peek of the new Sith, read on. Darth Nihilus. Sith support that can instantly defeat enemies by draining cooldowns. So then we have Sith Trooper and Sith Assassin. So Sith Trooper is a Sith tank who taunts and ignores enemies' protection. Sith Assassin
Mm-hmm.
is an elusive Sith attacker with stealth synergy. Then we have ships. We have Kylo Ren's command shuttle, durable first order support with unparalleled abilities to manipulate allied turn meter. And then content, we have the Moraban Sith Temple, and we have the Jedi Knight Sentinel for PvE. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But let's go into these three new characters. So you can actually see these characters in game now,
okay,
right?
Let me pull them up.
Which is super wicked cool.
All right, let's find them. No, I don't want you, Princess Leia. How dare you? Well, if I'll get to it eventually. If I can get past clicking on Leia.
They're right
goodbye,
at the
Leia.
bottom of the page.
I know, Freelock. Thank you. I've done this before.
Just trying to help.
I know you were.
Oh, so the next thing we got.
Well, let's look at the characters real quick before.
So you can look at the characters at the bottom, right?
Yeah, I'm pulling them all the way to the bottom. So we have.
Yep. So
which one do you want to look at first?
So
Now,
I think
what's crazy is these are characters, and the look of them looks exactly like the Old Republic too.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly like from the game The Old Republic.
Yeah. So
I have these costumes on my Old Republic.
Yeah. So it's wicked cool, right?
So Darth Nihilus, you want to look at him first?
Yeah, let's look at Darth Nihilus first.
Okay.
So the main thing we want to see with Darth Nihilus is he just looks freaking bad A. I mean, he looks just like the game, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just look at his level 1 abilities to start out with, right?
All right. See,
so
crazy.
So this is his level 1 first ability. Ceaseless Craving says deal special bit damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs from them.
Nice.
So he dispels on his basic.
At
2
level 1.
at level 1. Yeah, at level 1.
Yeah.
So this is 2, which is Drain Force. This is for special. It says deal special damage to all enemies with a 50% chance, double against debuffed enemies to increase their cooldowns by 1. For each cooldown increase, reduce the cooldown of Annihilate.
Mm-hmm.
Then we
Let's
have
Annihilate.
Annihilate. Annihilate is an 8-turn cooldown. Instantly defeat an enemy. Nihilus gains max health equal to 40% of the target's max health. This cannot be evaded and starts on cooldown.
If you let you have.
It's a one-shot, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Uh-huh.
this right here is Lord of Hunger. This is his leader ability. I'm the Lord of Hunger. So it says Sith allies gain 30% offense, 70% health
That's
steal.
crazy, dude.
30% offense and 70% health steal. Sith allies lose all protection and gain that much max health. So all their protection is turned into health. And my
Most of
picture's
it.
not moving again. Whatever. Okay, then it says Sith allies are immune to health effects that aren't health steal and don't score, and for some reason don't score
That aren't
critical
health
hits.
score.
critical hits. So they can't score a critical hit at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
I mean, that's
an-
actually kind of a good thing if you're facing with a bunch of General Kenobis, Barris, Biggs.
Yeah, it's basically a counter to all of those teams. If you don't have an
Well, I mean,
ability,
it's a restraint on the ability itself because you're getting the offense and the extra health steal. I don't think it's entirely bad. It has situations where it would be helpful.
Yeah, and then this last one is wound in the force.
Yeah, you guys discussed just for a second. I have to do.
I got it. At the start of each of his turns, Nihilus has a 70% chance to inflict damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy that doesn't have any debuffs. If all enemies are debuffed, inflict. It's not showing me what the rest of it says.
Inflict damage over time on a
Damage,
random
yeah,
enemy.
yeah.
it's
So
not working.
So you lose protection and stuff, but the chance for health steal and everything, you get the max health, so you get more hit points. Ooh, that's an interesting way of doing him. MJ, your first thoughts, brother? Did we lose MJ too?
No. I'm here. Sorry, forgot about that button. It looks pretty crazy, man. I think it's going to be one of those things that, for me, I'm not going to have him higher than a 3-star probably off the bat. But
it's probably going to be like Krennic or like Death Trooper, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get a 3-star or you're going to get a 4-star version of him, right?
But I mean, those abilities are.
I mean,
and it always happens. All the new characters
I run up against some 3-star and 4-star Krennics and Death Troopers, and they seem to be working out okay.
Yeah. Smith, are you back yet?
It shows to be back.
Nope.
Yeah, he showed he just popped.
He shows him on there, but his I don't know what's going on with
Yeah.
Smithy. I think
I'm
he's Smithy. Okay. Well, welcome back.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, thanks. I'm here. Like a Han doing Harrison Ford or something. Yeah, I'm here. So what are your first initial thoughts on Nihilus?
He looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see what his full abilities are. At the moment, I believe I only seen it in game, kind of like briefly. Well, when I say briefly, I read through them all, but they're all level 1. So I'd like to see what they are at level 7 and level 8.
That's gonna be.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he looks crazy at level 1, but I want to know what happened. So what we're discussing at the moment is leader ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because they can't crit, can they? Well, at level 1, it kind of takes away that kind of crit for a Sith
and they
team,
lose protection.
but they gain that back in health, don't they?
Right, and they get 70% life steal. So you can imagine Vader or Emperor Palpatine doing their AoE, even if they're low, and just getting all their health back every turn.
Is it right to say as well? I'm just getting everything loaded up. Is it right to say that they can't have healing immunity applied to them?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, basically, They can't. Basically, the only status effects that work are Health Steal and the one that Nihilus gives. That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it. Positives and negatives. That's all they're gonna get.
But I mean, who is a Sith that gets healed regularly that isn't doing that via lifesteal?
Let's see.
Is Palpatine's a lifesteal?
Only if he's a leader,
Right.
I think.
Vader does with his abilities. Let's see who else. Maul, I think doesn't he? Does he get a life steal, Smithy?
Yeah, he's got 20% health still.
Okay, so he does. Emperor Palpatine we know does.
But I just like in arena battles, you're not normally healing your Sith, are you? Outside of their natural health steal.
No, you don't need to.
So, well, and that's what I'm getting is like it doesn't.
Makes them.
It doesn't
just
impact the
constantly
arena fight.
No, it will make it where they lose protection, but they're just constantly, they get way more health and they're constantly regenerating it.
Right.
So that's pretty disgusting.
I mean, if you think of a health steal, it's a percent of your health, and so if they're going to double that, that 20% is going to be that much more. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah. So
I think health steal is based on the amount of damage you do, not
how
the
much you
amount
take
of
from-
your
Oh, yeah, you're
max
right.
health.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
All right. So Jesus. So we'll have to see where, as we go down the line war with Nihilus. I don't want to focus all night on Darth Nihilus because I think his abilities and everything speak for themselves. So let's go into the other two, which would be, let's go with Sith Assassin. Sith Assassin. Let's see.
So
I swear this is just like out of the Old Republic. I'm having flashbacks of being one of these characters.
Do you know with is your inventory changed and it's put all the locked characters at the top?
Not mine.
No. The only reason why you have unlocked, the only reason you're saying you've got it set to you've hit that triple bar button all the way on the far right side next to all and all.
Right.
And if you hit that, it'll toggle your characters from highest power to lowest power to highest power.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
All right. So let's look at Sith Assassin.
Assassin.
Yeah, she.
All right, so you got it up
I
on the
got
board?
it up. Exploit weakness. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict evasion down for 2 turns. If a target was already debuffed, gain stealth for 2 turns. If see, mine's being cut off. I don't know why it's being cut off.
If the Sith Assassin already has stealth, ignore the target's protection.
This is just like out of the Old Republic, because I used to run around with this Sith Assassin and just pummel people with the shit. Especially if you had a Sith Assassin that was like a sorcerer. You could just go in there and start dropping, like, you would be stealth, and you just go in and start dropping debuffs everywhere, and then lightning fools from a distance. It was crazy. That's insane. I mean, get stealth, and oh, wow.
So a couple other things to you want to read her other abilities?
Yeah, next one is Dark Shroud. Dispel all debuffs from Sith Assassin and gain stealth and foresight for 2 turns. So you get stealth and foresight. If she already has stealth, gain speed up and tenacity up for 2 turns. Jesus. Sith allies gain 4% turn meter for each. I guess
buff on her.
Yeah. God.
Oh wow! So she'll really speed up the rest of your team.
Can I also tell you that? I mean, just by looking at her not even locked abilities yet. I mean, not even unlocked abilities. She's already five speed higher than any of all my other characters. When they unlock at 100, and she unlocks at 105, which means she could potentially be fast, right? I mean, like Sith Trooper's 95, not unlocked. Sith Assassin is 105. So she could potentially be really fast.
And the last one's, I swear this is right out of the Old Republic. Electrocute. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict stun for 1 turn. If Sith Assassin already had stealth, dispel all buffs from Sith Assassin. Deal 5% more damage for each. Whatever, I can't see the rest of it.
Each effect dispelled on each living Sith ally.
God, dog, man. So she has the potential to be just nasty.
Yeah.
Badass double lightsaber as well.
Oh yeah, that you always run around. It was per class. I remember the Old Republic. It was
oh yeah,
Sith Warrior, Sith Sith sorcerer and then the Sith. I think it was assassin. There's two branches of each Sith that you can go into. Like the warrior had three. The sorcerer had like a. You can be a sorcerer. You can be an assassin. You can be something else. Uh, and there was different things, but I mean they pulled this right out of there because those were abilities we had. Jesus
We kind of knew
Christ.
that was going to happen, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy with it because, one of the things that we had talked about
I mean,
before is
yeah,
how
we
the
kind of thought,
characters, match what they are in the canon, right? So
right?
Nihilus matches perfectly. I don't think there's any debate about that. The Sith assassin perfectly matches what she was, in the legend and everything like that, canon and stuff like that. So, Smithy D, your initial thoughts, sir?
She looks pretty cool. So she looks with that kind of like the speed she's going to have, like you said, about 105. Nihilus is what, 100. So Nihilus is probably going to be middle, and she's probably going to be like close to maybe Dooku's speed.
Mm.
So it's going to be, seems to be pretty quick.
Yeah. Anybody else? Something that sticks out that you want to jump in on? Ducky, Prelog, MJ?
Not much, except that, well, she
Yeah.
looks,
Amazing.
by the basic descriptions of her abilities, it's just gonna be crazy trying to deal with a team that's using her.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. All right, the last one is Sith. Where did it go?
Trooper.
Sith Trooper.
Oh, it just disappeared. Let me find him.
Super duper Trooper.
No, I don't want Nihilus, you son of a. Where's the trooper? There he is. I'm just, again flashback. God, it's just like it was. All right, disrupt blast. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 40% chance to inflict defensive down for 2 turns. Nothing too overwhelming there, but nice ability. Crimson Barrage. Deal physical damage to all enemies with a 40% chance to inflict offensive down for 1 turn. This attack ignores protection. Damn.
Yeah.
And then his unique.
We have a couple of ships that ignore protection, don't we?
I think so. Ducky, is that correct?
Yes and no. We only have one, and it only kind of ignores protection because
it's supposed to be Boba Fett, right?
Yep, the seismic charge on Boba Fett, but it's not working properly. It doesn't fully ignore protection.
So hopefully, Sith Trooper works as intended.
Yes.
Well, it would be death for a Sith team because of this. Sith Trooper has a 40% defense. Whenever a Sith ally uses a special ability or falls below 50%, Sith Trooper gains defensive up for 2 turns. If he already had defensive up, he gains taunt. I can't read the rest.
Gains taunt for 2 turns. If he already had taunt, he gains retribution for 2 turns.
Right, and that's perfect because the Sith will all be losing their protection, right? So the chance of them going
well, it's not lose protection. If we look back on Nihilus's leader, it says, I thought the same thing too, but it says on his leader, lose all protection and gain that much max health.
Right.
Yeah, so they have the same amount of durability.
Right.
Correct. Same amount of durability. It's just it's all in health now rather than being partially in protection, which means that
Sith Trooper is going to be activating basically when their protection is gone.
Think about putting Barris on the team, the most freaking awesome healer with, and now you've got everybody's protection transferred into all the Sith
into health.
So you could do like a Sith plus Barris team because she's the best healer in the game.
That's gonna be
safe and secure.
Don't give people ideas.
I'm just thinking out loud here, right? I mean,
also to know under that.
No. It's it's just the different dynamics.
I mean, we're just thinking outside the box, right?
We are thinking outside the box.
Sith are definitely making a comeback play here.
It's definitely been dark February, hasn't it?
I know, it's been so wonderful.
All right, so let's look at the
so now you have his last ability, right?
Yeah, we already read it. That was the last one.
Oh, the Viking's Legacy or whatever it is. Okay, so now the next thing that they talked about is we have this thing that looks like a bat with flappy wings called Kylo Ren's command shuttle.
A bat with flappy wings? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, well, it does look like
It does look like a bat. Come on. It
doesn't look like a bat.
Please tell me it doesn't look like a bat.
It looks like a ship.
No, it looks like a bat. It looks like go to it. Go to
it's
ships.
Not Mickey Mouse.
Go to ships for a minute. Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is not a bat. Last time he was a mouse.
This ship sure looks like a bat.
Where's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of what?
I thought it had something else on it.
Yeah, you mean the ship? The ship looks.
I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look like a bat.
Okay, so let's read these abilities, right? So the first one is Kylo's ability. I guess we should. So the description: Dark Side, First Order. We didn't get anything else for description, so let's go in here to Kylo Ren's. Surprise raid. Target ally gains 100% turn meter and advantage for 1 turn, and their cooldowns are reduced by 1, but they lose 50% protection. That's at level 1 ability. Interesting. So the game.
Actually, somebody in TI already maxed the abilities.
Jesus, of course.
And so I can actually go ahead and read off all of the max.
Oh, somebody already. I hadn't even looked at that part yet. I was too busy driving. Are you kidding me? In ship, somebody already posted a max.
Yep, Atreyu.
Atreyu's been on this show before.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he did us the courtesy of maxing out this wonderful new ship.
Okay, great. So
I wonder what rank he is.
So 6 minutes after the thing comes out, Atreyu has it maxed.
Something like that.
Well, he has it unlocked at 4-star.
Okay, yeah, he has that, but he has all the abilities maxed, so we can see what they do in full.
Right.
So surprise raid stays the same, 100% turn meter and advantage for 1 turn. Cooldowns are reduced by 1 on the target ship, and they only lose 30% protection.
Yeah. So it got better.
Yeah, it gets better. Okay, and then let's see. Strike Team Phasma's ability is on a 4-turn cooldown. Target ally loses all turn meter, then all other allies gain 21% turn meter, plus 25% of the turn meter that the ally lost, doubled for First Order allies. If the shuttle targets itself, First Order allies get advantage for 2 turns.
Jeez.
Okay, so you're definitely running this with TIE Fighter pilots.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, you're running this.
You can run First Order TIE Fighter without the shuttle. You do not run the shuttle without the fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's a big
first,
one.
you what? Sorry.
That's a big one.
Yes, it is. Because you can spread a lot of turn meter that way. Zeal of the First Order is First Order Stormtroopers unique. Kylo Ren's command shuttle has plus 30 speed while it has protection, and plus 30% counter chance while it doesn't. If First Order TIE Pilot is present, it receives 25% turn meter every time the shuttle takes damage.
Jesus Christ.
So you want to kill this thing
I'm
because
spending my money on.
Yeah, because it's manipulating turn meter, and every time you try to kill it, you speed up First Order TIE Pilot, who's already going fast because you've got target locks out there that you're hitting. And then the synergy it has with its own basic is great. The basic deals physical damage to target enemy and gain protection up 30% for 2 turns. And so whenever it attacks out of turn, which it will do whenever it doesn't have protection, it will then gain protection up, at which point it loses the counter chance and regains its speed. So it's going to be difficult to kill this thing because every time you attack it, it's going to be getting 30% protection up and speeding up First Order TIE Pilot for Vengeance hit. And then lastly, the special Advanced Jamming Array. Dispel all buffs on target enemy with a 55% chance each to remove 30% turn meter and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns.
God dang.
Man, that's great.
And with the recent update, healing immunity prevents protection recovery as well, for those that didn't see that.
And Knights Templar gave us a Reddit link that talks about the new characters. I'm gonna drop that in the live chat here. Thanks again, Knights Templar. Another one of our amazing viewers coming helping us out for sure. So we definitely appreciate that.
This ship is pretty pimp.
This ship is pretty pimp. Yeah.
Yes, it's if you can get it, you should.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Now, I will say
But it's going to be pricey. I mean, to try to.
Well, there was wasn't there a new pack with this?
yes,
So
there's a
let's
pack
Let
that
me
gives
look
you
at. Let's,
80
$40
blueprints.
So
for
Kylo Ren bundle. So we got some new bundles
we
here
got
that do not
a
cost crystals. So let's look at this. So
we,
with specific characters that you can focus it on. This is pretty damn good. So for
this
the
is similar. This pack, this Kylo pack, the first one over here, Kylo Ren bundle,
Kylo
is
Ren.
very similar to the Boba Fett bundle that we got earlier.
With a lot,
except
you get
$20
Phasma.
price here.
Yeah, this is for $39.99. I think this is a damn good pack. You get 80 shards of Kylo. You get 80 shards of his ship, so that will unlock his ship, which will be 4 stars if I'm doing my math correctly.
Yeah,
Correct.
it is.
That is correct.
50 shards of Phasma, so if you don't have her, and then 25 also of First Order Stormtrooper, which is amazing, plus some money and training droids. I mean,
Now,
Jesus.
one thing I would like to point out about the ship is when it has the speed buff at max, it is slower than Boba Fett's ship, but faster than Mace Windu's ship.
Mm.
And then when it doesn't have that, it is the slowest ship by far in the game.
Damn.
So the all of this turn meter manipulation, comes at it's not the fastest ship out there. You're not going to be able to drop this in and then everybody max out turn meter right away.
That, by the way, just back to the characters for a minute. That post that Knights Templar gave Finity shows the maxed abilities for Nihilus, Sith Trooper, and Sith Assassin.
Mm.
They get wicked good, dude.
I can only imagine.
150% health steal.
What?
Yeah,
Wow!
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
They gain 60% offense too.
Yeah, 60% offense
God!
and 150%
So it's
health
better
steal.
than offense up, and they get 150% health steal on basically double health pool.
On a double
Seriously?
health. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I'm reading it at the same time.
That's beautiful.
So that's insane.
Like, I have no idea how that's gonna work, but that's just gonna be crazy.
150%.
Vader's is
Good job.
Yeah, Vader's is 30%. So you're getting double the damage bonus that you get from Vader, and instead of potentially stripping their turn meter, you're just constantly healing yourself.
That's just insane.
Wow. All right, and then we have these Sith Order bundle packs. Let's look at one of these. I think the main character. So you get 80 shards out of that character to unlock them, and look at all the gear you get to level them up as well. This is another great pack. Look at this. You get enough gear to get them started on leveling them up. See, just for instance, I'm reading the Darth Sidious one. Level up Darth Sidious with the Sith Order bundle. Unleash your fury today.
Farmable.
Right.
I mean, I know that sounds terrible that I would say
Well, I'm
that.
just saying. So, but you get, if you don't have Sidious, you can. I like this because it gives you enough starting material to get them up a few levels, right?
Do we know if you can buy this more than once, or is it only a one-time only? I think
Probably one time only.
It doesn't say you can only buy it once. It doesn't have that
Yeah,
message.
but from previous experience with the direct money buys, they were all one-time onlys.
Yeah, crystal purchases are repeatable. Dollar purchases are not.
Okay, so you can get these one time. Same thing for all of them. Same thing for Darth Maul. Same thing for Count Dooku. Ah.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
that's a fairly good deal, I think.
Like,
I do too.
I'm broke, and I'm considering getting these anyway.
Well,
right. I mean, for like Maul.
I already decided to get them tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I don't need Sidious and I don't need Dooku because I already got them, max. But definitely that Maul one looks really good, and the Savage Oppressed one because they reworked him, which we'll get into too. They worked out. Have they done these? Are they doing reworks for these characters? Was that part of the message?
Yep, the Sith faction pass.
Oh yes, we haven't even got to that yet.
I thought I read that.
Yep. Basically, all the Sith got updated slightly.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so you can get it each for each character. So I definitely will be buying the Maul and the Savage one because that'll
Open
pretty
packs,
much get me
open
close to
packs.
finishing up Maul.
By
No,
the
I'm not opening any packs tonight, guys. I got to look at these more in depth.
no,
Sorry.
yeah, I think we should definitely wait on the packs just for a little bit. By the way, all the new characters are now up on SWGOH.GG
Jesus.
Oh, they did get them up. Wow.
just now. So I mean,
Good
this
job,
is
guys. That's
this is like amazing job for our TI brethren. They managed to data mine it, pull them up, make them look good, and stick them on there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
And Nihilus with his leadership ability,
I
3
mean,
raid gear and less than 1,000 purples.
Yep.
wow.
So he's easy to gear up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, only 200 gold, 3 raid gear, and less than 1,000 purple.
Yeah.
To get him maxed.
Partridge in a pear.
So not
Yes.
not terrible.
All right.
Wait,
let's
what are you saying? That sorry.
go ahead,
So
Smithy.
so basically, I'm gonna drop this in our chat. The amazing guys over there at SWGOH.GG have already put Nihilus in SWGOH.GG and Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper.
No ship yet. I did check that.
Oh, the ship's not in here yet?
Unfortunately not. But I'm sure they're working on it.
Well, it's harder for them to scrape that data. For whatever reason, they can scrape characters like that, but they cannot scrape the ships quite as quickly. So yeah, I mean, it's wicked, dude.
All right. So we just brought that up. So the Sith balance changes. They say we recently made a number of changes to characters who have the Sith label.
Oh yeah.
This includes exciting changes to Darth Vader, Savage Opress, Darth Sidious, and more. We have a complete breakdown of that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Let me find that for a minute.
Let's just look at this because
let me go back to my dark side stuff where we talked about the 3 characters. We didn't even talk about the reworks.
Yeah, but I've got Vader up right now, so
well, no. I was starting based on Jesse's post, or I'm sorry, yeah, Jesse's post about what's new. So on Jesse's post it says Captain Phasma rework.
What?
Yeah, this is Captain Phasma rework. She's a tad late, maybe a detour to a trash shoot, perhaps, but Captain Phasma is finally here to round out the updates for the First Order faction. Phasma's Victory March ability will now be prioritized over other abilities while under AI control. We have also expanded her Zeta abilities, her Zeta ability, Fire at Will, which now grants First Order allies advantage for 2 turns at the start of each of their encounter and prevents them from being critically hit while they have advantage. In addition to previous bonuses, Victory March ability will now prioritize Victory March over other abilities while under AI control. Fire at Will. Zeta grants AI allies advantage for 2 turns at the start of each encounter and prevents them from being critically hit while they have advantage. Visit your First Order squad today.
You think? Jesus Christ.
Well, with the Kylo bundle, that can definitely become viable.
Yeah, we talked about the packs, but what about the reworks themselves?
Okay, so then the first one is Dooku.
All right, I pull up Vader, but let me look at Dooku.
So Dooku. What did he get? So basic hindering press. Can now debuff non-Jedi, and a chance to debuff Jedi increase. And then on Omega, can't be countered, and an addition of 15% damage. So I have this Omega already. Mm-hmm. And special Force Lightning is the chance to debuff is increased on Omega.
Shock, God.
On Omega, it's a 50% chance. A 50% to inflict shock with an additional 15% damage, and the damage has increased.
Mm-hmm.
Unique, flawless repertoire.
Repose,
whatever.
Repose.
Whatever. Zeta. Let's see. So Count Dooku gains critical hit immunity for 1 turn and recovers 10% protection whenever he counterattacks.
What the
Holy crap!
Damn.
So he's very anti AoE.
Yeah, but whenever he counters, he regains 10% protection.
No,
Wow,
one
God.
thing to note though is that will not work under Nihilus lead.
Of course it won't. Yeah, because
he has
no protection.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, but but the issue with Nihilus is with his lead, it takes away. It's going to be slow, isn't it? That's the problem. So even though they're getting all this health, if you've got Nihilus in a Darth Maul Zeta, you're going to destroy that team, wouldn't you?
Well, not with none of this. You use like Short Trooper or something.
I don't. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, all these characters have crit immunity, but the thing is, Nihilus already. No, that's under Nihilus's leader.
Yeah.
The thing about they can't crit. So
yeah,
that's under Nihilus's leader. It's not as unique. Anyway, so let's go to Darth Maul because Darth Maul changed, right? So we've got leader Dancing Shadows, Zeta update. The stealth and turn meter from this ability ignores taunting allies. That's the big deal on his leader. Darth Sidious, basic Deathstroke, ignore defense, no longer prevents critical hits. Omega, now double chance to ignore defense when target is debuffed and damage increase. Special demoralizing blow, Omega, now inflicts expose in addition to previous bonuses. And damage increase. And then his leader, unlimited power. Omega is a 1% crit chance, 10% crit damage. Sith allies gain 2% offense until the end of the battle whenever they score a crit hit. And according to some stuff we got earlier today from Kazaspoon, it stacks. All that stuff stacks.
Wow.
So basically, they're bringing the old, almost useless characters back into the game.
So basically, Sidious lead is with the stacking means he's going to start out not so great, but if you leave him alone for a while, or you leave the characters are going to get better as they go along. So the Vader rework, basic terrifying swing, Omega plus 15% damage in addition to plus 15% ability block chance. And there's a damage increase. Special Force Crush, damage increase. Savage Press, Finity's going to look. I hadn't even looked at chat, dude. I'm sorry. I've been too busy reading. I'm sure you guys are having a grand old time in there. Savage Press, Staggering Blow, now always has a 50% chance to inflict offense down, double on crit, damage increase. Special Overpower, Omega, deal massive damage to the target and has to the target if the target has 50% health or below, in addition to the previous bonus. I don't know what massive damage means, but if he looks anything like that one challenge table thing where he basically pops everybody to zeros, that would be
massive
wicked.
damage is that when the old
kills them instantly, isn't
at
it?
the old settings, it was at below 25%. When it was basically an execute.
Gotcha.
Except that now they raised that bar to 50%.
Okay, so then we got the leader, which is Pain of Weakness. It says changed to percent defense. Defense maxes out at 75%. And then Omega is plus 15% defense and plus 30% tenacity. That's a very interesting lead, defense and tenacity. Unique, brute. At the end, this is like 3 dots long. At the end of his turn, Savage dispels all debuffs from a random Sith ally and gains those debuffs.
Wow.
Interesting. Zeta, gain heal over time when damaged.
Jesus.
Buff duration +1, plus 50% turn meter chance. Dispel all debuffs from Savage when he is critically hit. Whenever Savage takes damage, he gains offense up, defense up, and healing over time for 2 turns, and gains 30% turn meter. At the end of his turn, Savage dispels all debuffs from a random ally from a random other Sith ally and gains those debuffs for 1 turn, Dispels all debuffs from Savage when he's critically hit.
Yeah, so that was just
That's the same as what
entire.
Yeah.
It's just like retyping out the entire ability, so you
Yeah,
understand.
they basically retyped out the entire ability of what it looks like. So the rework to Sith, I mean, is really neat. I am so freaking glad that they reworked some of these characters. I mean, Darth Sidious and SWGOH Press have not been highly used for quite some time.
I think Finity creamed his jeans.
He probably
Urban
did.
too.
All right, Smithy, all this stuff that's just been laid out, what are your initial thoughts? Let's get everybody's initial thoughts for what we looked at so far. There's still more, but we'll start with you, Smithy. What is your initial thoughts on the Sith, everything? Because that's what we mainly covered.
Yeah, so they look pretty decent. I did a little video where I covered them yesterday, I believe it was. So I just went over kind of all their abilities.
You're gonna have to redo it all now, probably.
Forget what I said.
The best ones, I think Vader, he's had a slight increase in damage, what I've seen so far. Sidious is definitely a well deserved. And then you've got Dooku, looks pretty cool, you know, but I don't know where he's gonna fit in yet in the current meta. Maybe I just don't know yet. Under some leaderships, because what's viable at the moment by looking at it is a Darth Maul Zeta. That seems to be the kind of thing that's gonna really gel these together. Is that speed, that opening speed, that dodge. You know, so if you had Nihilus in there, or even if you had Nihilus lead, I'm not sure.
I think your thoughts on the Maul lead is the right call. It's still.
If you're putting a Sith team together, Smithy, right now, who would you put in?
Well, I'd probably definitely go Maul lead because I could get him up to 250 speed, and then I'd have an opening speed from Emperor Palpatine at about 290. Then I'd go for Darth Nihilus to try and get him around about 200. About 260, somewhere around about that. So, or I'd make Maul a little bit quicker, so the opening is just bam, bam, bam. Then I'd probably have Boba on the sidelines to put some ability blocks down. Well, I probably wouldn't need that if Nihilus is then. So, in an ideal world, how it'd work is you put in how his ability works on Nihilus. Is this is what I've read from so far. So, Boba Fett is pretty much going to be irrelevant to a degree on the opposite team, because if you've got a Maul lead and then you've got an opening with Emperor Palpatine, bam, he's going to put down an AoE stun. Even if he stuns two of them, you're like, okay. Then you have Darth Maul going next, and you have him around about a 260 speed. So, bam, what he's doing then is he's putting daze on everyone. Then Nihilus goes with his AoE. Then he's going to then increase the cooldowns on the debuff, which would then, you already had two debuff characters that are then put all that down. Then he's going to increase their cooldowns by 1. Good night, Darth Vader Zeta. Good night, Boba Fett. But that's pretty much how I'd use those trio. I don't think I would use any others.
Who else would you put in that team, though?
I could put Darth Sidious in there because you're getting that expose off his AoE. Then have somebody else on the sideline. Maybe Kylo Ren. So they have to attack him.
Definitely.
I think my team's. Nah.
I fought against
tank with basically all of with good stats from what I've seen on SWGOH.GG. Plus, he has the one thing that the Sith faction was missing. He's a taunter. So
yeah, that's true. But then wasn't his ability? Yeah, but he doesn't have a unique, you see. So if I had 4 Sith,
either.
Yeah, so if I had 4 Sith, Kylo Ren's going to be my opening auto taunter. You can hit him if you want, please do.
I think
you hit him or you like.
I think the big key to what you just said though was you're gonna need some pretty decent speed mods.
Yeah.
Yes. I fought a guy who's running a Darth Maul Zeta today, and I was looking at it and I'm like, why am I not getting creamed by this team? And I was like, it goes back to the fact that my mods are better than his mods.
My mods are better than your mods.
And so I really feel like that's a huge key to this whole thing. Is it still goes back to amazing mods. Get those mods, because if you don't have the right mods, it's not going to work.
Right.
Not gonna work.
No,
M-
that's
M-
you need
MJ,
to have.
you still there, brother?
I'm here, man.
I mean, you're just taking all this in, man. What are your thoughts of the Sith and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that?
I think they look great. I mean, I think the overall rework to that faction seems to me quite more significant than say what they just did to the First Order. I think it's a lot to get excited about. I know I'm hoping that they're not all behind crazy paywalls because I'm really excited to hammer down on these guys. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
We got two new backgrounds even. I mean, we got a Jedi Knight Sentinel, and we got Moraband Sith Temple. I don't even know what that means. It just says content. We have like 2 lines on that stuff. Those have to be new backgrounds, right?
Oh,
Probably.
what is it?
So if you before you in between ships on EA Jesse's post between ships and the Phasma rework, it just says content. It says Moraband Sith Temple and Jedi Knight Sentinel PvE. Jedi Knight Sentinel though is a character, and then Moraband Sith Temple must be a background. I'm guessing.
What, like an arena background?
No, yeah. Like a PvE background or an arena background. Like we got a
So
new
like
background.
challenges or something, or Galactic War. That
I'm just
probably
going
means,
through
yeah?
the level
And then
9 ones to
PvE
see.
Then PvE would be the arena.
Well, usually PvP would be so PvE Jedi Knight Sentinel would be a character maybe, and then anyway, I think that Jedi Knight Sentinel, if I'm not mistaken, looks like Akbar but as a Jedi. So he's
he was in the game before, wasn't he?
He's like that I think he's from that group Calamari or something. Is what the name of that?
Calamare.
The Calamari.
Well, Jedi Sentinel is just the name of a certain type of Jedi.
Yep. So now we went through
let's continue, shall we?
pack bundles. We kind of sort of talked about.
Well, we talked about the pack bundles, but now we got
Hunger Games. So here's it.
Lord of Event, Hunger Games. Yeah, I was just looking at that on the screen.
It says once you make it through the Hunger Games events, level up your Sith with one of the packs from the store. These packs include credits, abilities, plus the chance for Omega materials. Please note that there are 3 distinct and separate packs listed here. 1 for Nihilus, 1 for Sith Trooper, and 1 for Sith Assassin. Each pack guarantees 5 shards of one themed character, plus a chance at 30 shards. A minimum 5 shards per pack. Bonuses for each of the packs. And it gives us these bonuses: 125k crystals,
Credits.
Credits. Yeah, credits. Then we have an ability material, another ability material, and a chance at an Omega ability material. So it's like one Omega and 2 greens. It's like
more like 1 purple,
1 purple,
3 blues, and possibly 1 Omega.
Yes, thank you. So then Kylo Ren's Scuttle bundle. This is the one we talked about. The bundle includes 80 shards, 50 shards of Phasma, 25 shards of First Order Stormtrooper, and 80 blueprints for a shuttle. This bundle unlocks at level 65. It gives what the pack contains. We already went over that. Sith bundles. We kind of already went over that.
We do have to talk about the new Chromium pack characters.
That's right. So the Chromium update. So the new section of characters we rotating in the Chromium packs, with a couple of old favorites being rotated out. Here's the breakdown. Here's who's out. Ahsoka Tano is out. Biggs Darklighter is out. Fives is out. Jawa's out. Luke Skywalker's out. Poggle's out. Rey's out. Royal Guard's out. Tebow's out. Tusken Raiders out, and General Veers. And here's who's in: Chirrut, Cassian, K2SO, Jyn Erso.
Oh boy.
So go. They dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters and added four, which means potentially the drop rates got better just based on the law of averages, if nothing else. I'm not saying that your pulls won't be better, but you're not going to get a full unlock of Tebow, right?
Wow.
So I mean, you could
Jesus
still get some.
Christ.
I mean, you can still get some crud in there, right? I mean, you could still get a Lobot, you could still get a Greedo, you could still get Night Sister Initiate or Night Sister Acolyte. I mean, it could be a little cruddy, but I'm just saying it got way more better all of a sudden. At least.
Well, there's still almost 100 characters in the Chromians.
Well,
so.
there's only like 109 characters in the game, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. 80 characters in Chromians.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
10.
There's a bunch in there.
That's mind-boggling.
Here's another one that's very interesting. Ally points, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
We are discontinuing tournaments for the foreseeable future. That is probably one of the best single sentences Jesse has ever said. Given this change, we will be removing ally points from the following locations: Galactic War shipments and daily activities.
Grab them while you can.
Yeah, everybody go in there and load up on your ally points.
They already removed them.
One thing I don't like about the tournaments going away are those $5.99 mod packs that came with them.
Oh, so
nice.
That's true. The $5.99 mod packs were
a good ass deal.
Hey, did you know Japan add-on for 999 crystals? On a Japan server, you can get all the mod packs. You can get like just speed. You can get just like any of the actual kind of like primaries. They all have separate.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, that's right. Sias from FTB was telling about it. He's like, why am I the only one getting this? And I'm like, dude, you're in Japan and the rest of us don't see that. And he's like, why do I get this and y'all don't? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But for whatever reason, somehow somebody made a deal in Japan where you could basically just go, yeah, I want to basically a mod pack, but I want to make sure it's all only speed. Anyway, it's crazy good, bro. Crazy good. But hopefully we'll see that one day. But why? How? Explain. Fret not. Our handy dandy CG Top Hat will be posting an announcement breaking down this change down further soon. So basically, tournaments were flawed. I think that's why they scrapped it, and they're probably restarting from scratch on tournaments. I would much rather see a bracket style tournament. So hopefully, hopefully we start seeing more of a bracketed style tournament. I have, potentially we're going to see Guild v Guild at some point. If we see Guild v Guild at some point, hopefully that's bracketed.
Can I get him the Team Instinct to win? Because y'all will kill everyone.
I don't know if we're going to kill everyone. There are some very good. There's some very, very teams that are not Team Instinct. I mean, whether you're whether you're talking about.
I know, I'm joking.
Whether you're talking about BHG, whether you're talking about Order 66, whether you're talking about Skull and Bones, FTB. I mean, Mighty Metachlorians. I mean, the guy that today has the most percent done in Phase 4 is not in Team Instinct. He actually comes from Mighty.
You guys are slacking.
Was that 11 million?
The dude had like an 89% clear on Phase 4.
Seriously?
I saw a screenshot of over 11 million today.
Yeah, 89% clear of Phase 4. So there are some guys. That's
guys.
FN Boobless. That's really not his name. It's FN 088007 whatever. Anyway. The guy's super cool, but yeah, he's the one that FN 55378 from Mighty Metachlorians did that today. So there are some insanely. I want to make sure I get his name right since I'm saying he did a great job. Anyway, there are a lot of great guilds out there. I think Guild v Guild will be sick. I hope they do a really good job with it. Whatever they do, they need to do a good job with it.
Hey, guess what as well?
I
just checked. I've got all the gear that I've been saving, like predicting what Nihilus will have. And I've got every single gear to get into gear 11 instantly.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm just going through it while you're talking, just like, yep, got that. Oh yeah, I got that too. So I was just like everything that I've been farming. I did farm some stun costs, which he needs none of. What? Well, yeah.
I didn't look.
Okay.
What does he need most of? Is he like a Karbani guy?
He takes a few Cabantes, not much. 100 stun guns. I think it's 150 Cabantes. He needs a lot of the Mark III Merson thermal detonator. He needs 135 of them, but I already farmed them because I remember the same situation with other great characters like Emperor Palpatine. So I was
He
like,
also
yeah, he's
needs-
definitely going to need them.
Yeah, as he also needs the 230 of the power cell salvage that you get from tier 3. Agility, I
yeah.
think.
So
Yeah.
basically,
Got them as well.
so
Oh,
Go ahead, Grande.
so then we got a whole bunch of bug fixes. A whole bunch of bug fixes. So let's talk about it. So first, the first one's kind of funny to me. Language. The German text for Jawa Scavenger dismantle ability now correctly translates the reference to a singular enemy target instead of a plural. I'm like, I hadn't even thought about that, but could you imagine that stuff like that could really screw people up if they have like plural versions of words that we don't have plural versions of words in English? Like Google Translate screwed up on that one. Sorry, guys. We fixed it. Prelog, did you ever notice that? I mean, I don't know if you're using it.
no, I'm on an English.
You're on an English.
I'm using English, so.
That's right. You speak American.
Nope. I've been taught the usual UK English,
Okay.
but
that's not
I'm
your
mostly
fault.
speaking mixed.
I'm glad our German friends can now use their Jawa scavengers correctly.
Right.
Okay. Other I mean, hey, look, it's a fix. It's
I
a
mean,
fix.
it's a fix. You can't
It's a fix.
sit
It's a
there.
fix. So, Anakin Skywalker fixed an issue where Anakin's basic attack, deft blade work, was not correctly applying immunity buff to the target unless healing immunity was also applied.
Oh.
Interesting. So now you can get one or the other, which is cool.
Or
Boba Fett leader gain turn meter or turn meter gain from thermal detonators on ally side now correctly gives 15% instead of 10. Maze Ducky, you're gonna love that one, right? Because you're trying to pimp out that that bounty hunter team.
I was.
You were.
Oh,
Remember we had that
wow.
conversation about how
changed,
that might
buddy?
go by the wayside at some point. We have a change.
I mean, it's the honestly, I didn't realize it was only 10%. I thought it was 15%, but 5% is a small portion of pixels. However, I just I thought bounty hunters were good. Then I was told they don't hold on defense, and I was like, well, screw it. That's the whole reason I'm switching from droids is because I'm going to stick with droids. They've got the offense. They just don't have the defense. That's what I'm looking for.
So,
and that's why I'm switching.
Darth Maul's Whirling Blades now applies Daze effect before determining if a unit can counterattack or not. That's good.
Damn, I hate that bug fix right now.
Do you really?
I had 3 full counter Jedi teams on all 3 of the last nodes on GW today. And every single time Darth Maul did his AoE, at least 2 or 3 guys countered. Just because they countered before the daze was applied. And then 5 minutes after I finish GW, the update comes out.
So then we got let's see. So we talked about Maul Vader, inspiring through fear will no longer reduce turn meter twice on attack from characters who are both Empire and Sith. Woo-hoo! So that was only Palp, but that means that potentially soloing the Rancor just got a little harder. Vader, we did Vader already. Death Trooper, counter chance reduction from days inflicted by track down will now properly expire when days expires. Death Trooper, death mark inflicted by terminate will now expire when the affected unit is defeated. Death Trooper fixed an issue where Death Trooper shadow was missing, because that's hugely important that we make sure we have the shadows. I mean, it is. Somebody showed me a photo once, and they're like, who's the extra shadow? And I was like, it's Poggle. Like Poggle, he wasn't playing with Poggle. It's Poggle. Poggle sounds like a Teletubby. Okay.
It's Poggle.
So, Director Krennic fixed an issue where ability block afflicted by Director of Advanced Weapon Research failed to apply. Emperor Palpatine fixed an issue which causes Emperor of the Galactic Empire to grant
Empire.
Sorry, Empire. That's what happens whenever pliers join the Empire.
I'm part of the Empire.
You get impliers. I'm part of the Empire.
I'm part of the Sith Empire.
I am. I got some channel locks right here for you, buddy.
Don't mess with me. I'm powerful.
To grant double health and turn meter on attacks beyond the first within one turn, assists and multiple attacks, etc. So basically, we had some turn meter health stuff going on with Palp that wasn't supposed to go on. Geonosian Soldier, this guy still has a bug. Holy crap! Fixed a bug which prevented the bonus damage on Geonosian Soldier's swarm ability from stacking up with offense. Okay, so Geo Soldier got a little better. Jawa Scavenger and HK-47 no longer apply defense down when an attack is evaded. Wah, wah. Okay. Rex fixed a bug that could allow bonus damage inflicted by Subdue ability to trigger effects that triggered on receiving damage from an attack. Interesting. Savage Opress fixed an issue with buffs on Savage Opress ability.
No, Finney just creamed his jeans again.
Persisting through phases. Interesting. So in other words, like if you had a 3-tier phase, apparently his buffs were going from one to the other. General abilities. Abilities that can apply offense down no longer apply to targets that evade. So in other words, you can't evade an attack and get offense down. Crit damage up. Buff tooltip now correctly states that this gives 50% plus 50% crit damage. Nice. Healing immunity. The debuff now correctly blocks protection healing. So healing immunity blocks protection increase. So if you heal immune Dooku, he ain't going to get that 10% thing with his Zeta thing going on.
Cool.
Well,
That's nice. Now, here's the huge one, Mage Ducky, because this is what has stopped me from getting rank 1 for like 3 weeks. Fixed an issue where TIE Reaper was removing the enemy capital ship's turn meter even after he was defeated.
And I would like to just add, because people were asking on the forum, this also fixes the bug where he affects enemy capital ship turn meter while in reinforcement.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. So it's we had somebody in TI test it after the update.
There was a guy. Now I love him to pieces, and he's in the chat. He's in the chat, so he knows who he is. But there was a guy who literally, and I'm like,
show yourself, fool.
Why can't I beat you, dude? Like I should be. And he goes, well, I'm running TIE. I'm running TIE Reaper as my 3rd reinforcement. And I'm like, yeah, my capital ship never gets to go, bro. Like never, like not one time. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's terrible, man. I mean, it was painful. It was really painful. It was like you never got reinforcements. This is I don't know how that managed to get past them for this long, but
it was working as intended.
It was painful.
Just to see your tears. Grande's tears are delicious.
It was very painful. It was very painful.
You sure it wasn't just your skill, Grande? Inquiring mind wants to know.
So it you know what? It may have been my skill. Okay. You know what? That's it. I'm just not very good sometimes. Sometimes
the first step in recovery is admitting that you're wrong.
I was wrong. Sometimes I'm just not very good.
Wrong, Grande.
Wrong,
why you suck? Because you're a terrorist. That's all I'm going to say.
So what's up next? Our next update will focus on quality of life improvements for the game.
Oh.
Stay tuned. Quality of life.
What quality of life?
Well, I mean, what would? Okay, that's a great idea. Prelog, what would be an idea? What would you like to see as a quality of life change for the game?
Let's go through each everybody. Prelog, you're first, Mister. I want to go. Wah, 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 wah.
I don't know even what quality of life.
I have a quality of life change.
Yes,
pick
Grande.
pick me.
No, I'm gonna pick you last, Grande. The other person behind Grande shaking his hands and looking like he has to pee. Smithy.
Oh, okay. Right. With the Dartmouth for February, the quality of life has to be Jedi Luke.
That's not a quality of life, that's a character.
Yeah, quality of life because it's all in darkness within the game. Jedi Luke comes along and restores the balance.
Why do
the
you
balance
do this,
of life.
Smithy? Why do you do this to us? We're not getting Revan, and we're not getting Luke anytime soon. You know, you come in here and you get our hopes up, and then we start talking about it and how much we would love it, and just stop it, Smithy. We just let go. I want him just as much as you do, but you have to let go. But a quality of life, not character, life, Smithy.
Oh,
D.
By the way, sorry, I'll do
You're
this
not
after.
Smithy D. You're Grande.
What do we want here? A quality of life for the
MJ,
game?
Yeah, for the game.
Like where we think it's headed?
Yeah, no.
Grande, explain. Okay, Grande, go. So these guys have an idea what you're talking about.
Quality of life change in the game. For example, I would like the ability to change my PvP payout by 1 or 2 hours for 1,000 crystals.
Oh
no.
500 crystals.
No, because the gain that you get from that is far bigger than 1,000 or 2,000 crystals.
You asked me for a quality of life change, and I put one in, and you freaking shot me down. That's a quality. That's a quality of life.
Thanks, Ducky. Now the stream's ruined.
Yeah, that's
I'm not shooting it down. You can wish all you want. I'm just telling you they're never going to do it.
I would agree. That's probably never going to happen. But we started talking about quality of life. Quality of life changes, and I said, people have different schedules, right? Maybe somebody's a day sleeper. They work nights or something. They have to wake up in the middle of their night time in order to fix their maybe they work mids or something, and they'd like to change their PvP payout time, or they'd like to change their reset altogether to something else, to some other time zone. So they'd like to change their personal reset.
Yeah.
That's probably a low percent.
Smithy's all over that. He's like, yeah.
Do you reckon they're gonna add that you can set up squads like a pre-craft squad and mods so you can move it around?
Oh, like move mods around together in a group?
That is a great.
Yeah.
Or you just have your teams you mean like all your teams
so
just already
make your
set?
own team.
Yeah, so they're always ready to go for whatever you're doing.
Yep.
You just pick the team.
That would be neat.
Because that's one of the annoying things that it's hard for me to do. Like, do I really want to take the 10 or 15 minutes to move mods just to gain an extra 150,000? Damn, that kind of thing.
Lock mods in a group and move them. That would be fun.
Or just say, this is my P3 team. You could have 5 sets you could keep. Let's say something like that. Just have 5 different sets, and so you could pick these different sets for the shit you do. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
That's a great point. That would be. I'm going to say that's mine.
Okay. What about you? Now, do you understand, Smithy D, what we're asking? What would you like as a quality of life change?
Jedi Luke, it would make me happy.
It doesn't matter what it is. That would hugely affect his quality.
We all want him, so shut up.
Yeah.
it would make me smile to boot up the game every single day just so I can use Jedi Luke in the arena. That's my quality of life.
All right, let's move on since I think that was a disaster. What's next, Grande?
Okay, so we basically went through this massive update. I don't even know if us going to go through the meta report even matters anymore.
Does it matter because it's completely
because everything just changed, right? Like within the last hour. So let's tell you what was happening the last week before everything changed.
Yeah. So this is
and Wedge slid into oblivion, right? As a leader, I don't know, man. I mean, we could go through it if we want to.
I'll go through real quick. If anything pops out, I'll yes.
I got it pulled up. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's interesting. But with all these changes and new stuff coming out, I mean,
it's gonna change drastically.
It's going to change drastically in the next couple of days. So if somebody's watching this 3 days later, if it's Wednesday, and if you're like watching this on Friday, or you're watching this in like a month, I mean, I don't
I've
want to.
got no Vaders in my shard
He said
anymore.
Vader was good.
I mean, although I will tell you, we can now watch all of Tiny Grimes' videos again, where he tells you to farm Sidious, and all of a sudden it's relevant again.
Tiny Grimes.
God.
How does his opening go? Welcome back to Tiny Grind's Games.
Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars. The Tiny Grimes. Tiny Grimes. Welcome back to another version of Star Wars.
Why y'all messing with
I love Tiny Man.
He's
all the
awesome.
time. The dude is super nice.
Yes, he is.
And he's probably, if he was watching that, he'd probably be laughing his ass off.
Or he'd probably be cursing
fedora.
all of us. Like, all right, he's got a list of like, all right, Ranger, Grande,
Yeah.
Smithy.
I didn't laugh at that part.
I'll show you guys some Tiny Grimes.
He's like, people I'm gonna bomb.
No.
Next thing we know, like, what happened to Grande? I don't know. He just disappeared. Now that you mention it, Smithy disappeared too. What's going on?
He got covered under a truckload of Destiny cards.
Oh man, I used to watch his videos a long time ago.
Yeah, I love.
Oh, so did I.
I mean, when we were all level, when 60 was the cap, man, that dude was OP, man. That dude was OP.
Good stuff. Yeah, you can see the, you know, you can see I'm just popping. We saw the leaders, we saw the squads. That's going to be going bye-bye.
Oh! By the way, just so
all characters.
Sticks.
Take a look. This will be saved on the cloud of the Internet Information Superhighway, as this was once the meta report.
Yes. Real quick, going back to chromiums. So Sticks from Team Instinct just took his 7-star turret. He had a 4-star plus 40 shards of turret. He said, seeing you on the stream and thought it might be relevant to share. He said it cost me $740 to get him to 7-star from the IE 25 shards plus 85 shards plus 100 shards, i.e. from the chromium packs. And I do have mostly all unlocks of 7 stars before this, except for basically turret. Not very cheap, but it's turret. Good to see you on the stream again.
Yeah,
so basically, thanks Sticks for doing that. Sticks, long time listener from Sweden. Super nice guy. I always try to practice my Swedish with him, and he always responds. And I have to run it through Google Translate, so it's really terrible. But
Grande can even speak English right.
I know.
Empliers.
Yeah, but hold on. Ranger has a butt sock. Let me take my Empliers and pull it out.
Did he get any Gen Urso?
He did
Gen
not
Urso
say.
and Cassian.
I can ask him about it. What about Jen and
Well,
Cassie?
just ask him. Don't actually say what you're asking. You just
You don't have to speak.
Watch it. Watch it. He's already going to respond before I even.
How are you today?
Okay, wait a second. How are you?
Hello, world.
I love you.
Are you my daddy?
Nope.
Yeah, what are you really doing?
Where's Mummy?
What are you wearing?
Oh wait, everybody wants.
I put on my wizard hat and robe.
Now everybody wants me to give him a shout out. Everybody, Echo Crest, Reggae Dragon.
Yeah, give them all a shout out, brother.
Emperor Skywalker, the Daring Devarian, and who am I missing? Oh, Javso. All those people were like busting me about, hey, shout me out on the thing.
Well, you have to watch the stream, fools.
They are watching it, and they're like, we never get a shout out. Grande's gone all Hollywood.
Grande puts on his wizard hat and robe.
So here's Stick's response. He said,
"I cast magic missile."
Stick said, had Jin at 60 shards from 7-star. Also maxed her. We're also he also had Cassian weren't from unlocked to set. They got look, I'm trying to. It's not like it's worded like EA Jesse. I'm trying to understand what he's saying. So he did get a max Jin out of the deal.
Wow,
and,
so Jin and sure.
And he says Cassian went from unlocked to only 5-star plus 50 shards ish. So it was much more heavily turret. and it was much more heavily Jin and much lower on the Cassian.
That's still pretty damn good.
So for all of those guys that already have base, go for the chromiums. You'll get through it
But be careful.
eventually.
Mm.
That's pretty cool, cause I think he's going to be needed. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Especially with all these Sith running around. Don't know what he'd actually do much.
Who
but
keeps writing
he's still a cleanser.
Chat.
Well, you got
Bimatsu.
Bimatsu doing it now. First it was Camilius, and now it's Camulius, and now it's Bimatsu. Shadowville laughing at LOL. Grande is Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm so Hollywood, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so Hollywood. I have to.
He
Like-
puts on his wizard hat and robe.
Here I am.
That's right.
Oh, but I'm not on screen, so it's just Ranger right now.
Well, that's because I'm Hollywood.
Yeah,
You're
well,
Hollywood.
we see there's Nihilus and Emperor.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
No
Okay,
need for Ranger, no need for Grande.
Let me go back to the main channel. So
I think I think at some point we probably need to bring up the quote unquote elephant in the room post.
the elephant in the room post.
The boycott. And if these, I mean, we're talking about dropping some serious money. And, I know that, I don't know if you guys have seen that. There's a post on Reddit from Aaron and from Overchecking about boycotting the pricing. I mean, $750 to take a character from 4-star to 7-star seems excessive.
Yeah.
And we're all glad that Styx did it, but first of all, how do we feel about spending that kind of pricing? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Should we try to get that pricing back down to some kind of more relevant price? I think so. That's why Team Instinct made that post on Reddit. For those of you that don't know, I'll bring it up and I'll post it here in the live chat. But
how are they feeling about the changes though? Because I was previously with the let's just be honest, the disaster that was the last pack that they put out there, which we talked about last stream. But what are their viewpoints now with all this new packs and stuff out there now?
I think we still have to stay strong. I mean, I'm in a chat right now, and everybody's like, are we still going to stay strong on this? I'm
curious what they.
I think absolutely you have to stay strong on this, and you have to, decide not to, not to do. I mean, do you think that $750 for 2 7-stars, 4-star to 7-star is appropriate? I mean, basically he got Jin and he got Churret for that price.
But I mean, what's appropriate? That's the thing.
What do you think is a reasonable amount? Everybody, what do you guys think was a reasonable amount of money to spend? Because this is a business. These guys are trying to make money. What do you think is an appropriate amount of money for someone to spend on this game for a character? Let's say a good character. Let's say Jen.
Rex or Jen.
Rex or Jen. Or Nihilus. So what do you think is a fair amount? What do you think the fair amount price range should be in the sense that, it is, for a whale or for someone that doesn't spend a lot of money? What do you think the price range is for something like that?
I think for now that they've set the schedule, I think they probably, even for the whales, could probably drop it because it's harder to spend probably $750 if you know that this character is going to be free to play in 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks from the chromiums.
So I mean, how much do you want to spend? Yeah, that's relevant. If there's a guy that has money is not an issue and loves this game that much and wants to spend $1,000 on a character, is that too much? Probably, but not to him. Who knows?
Well, what do you think would be a reasonable price then?
I mean, I think for a couple $100, a whale should be able to take a character to 7 stars because then they're getting it. They get their 8 to 12 weeks of have a better character than you, which is great and fine, and they drive the game. But having to spend $750 to go up 3 stars, that's bad news.
Well, he got 2 characters out of it and almost 3,
and the rest of the shards as well.
The rest of the shards he got with it as well. So we don't know the whole breakdown, but that still seems like that's still a lot of money. I mean, Jesus.
I don't know.
Smithy.
I don't know, to be honest.
Well, in your mind, what do you think is a reasonable expectation of price for a character? It's an opinion. It's not. It's not. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. What would be in your mind a fair point of spending for a character? $100. Well, you're on the pound system, so a little bit less, but than American dollars. But I mean, for you, what do you think is a reasonable price?
I honestly wouldn't know, mate. To be honest.
All you think about is goddamn Jedi Luke. Moving
Yeah,
on.
he keeps on the Jedi Luke
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
He's
The
always
other thing we
thinking
got to
about it.
And the
remember
other
is
thing
that
he's
middle
doing, he's probably
chromium.
playing Galactic War, not paying attention. So we're moving on.
No,
And you, Smithy.
You got to
No,
remember that
Smithy, I
chromium.
caught you. I busted your ass.
So let's. I think we need to talk. They are a business, and so let's talk about it for a minute. They're basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to segment a little bit. They're trying to grab that. They're trying to grab that guy that thinks 750 is okay price by having him pay 750,
Right.
and then getting 3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks of use out of that character, and then they're trying to grab this other market, which is maybe that $200 to $300 range. Maybe even, because once they put it in shipments, you can effectively get that character from 0 to 100 from 0 to 7-star for about $750, right? I'm not, excuse me, $170, $170. So once it goes to shipments, it's got a set price. There's no more art. I mean, it's RNG as far as time is concerned, but as far as anything else, that's what it is. And then of course, even whenever it goes farmable, I mean, you're still got this time equals money thing going on, right? I mean, they just made Shore Trooper farmable on one node, and I got to tell you, I've been farming that thing for 2 weeks, and I think I've gotten like 9 shards. I've got 9 shards.
I have 11. I think I have 11.
and so you're like, that's like okay, great. So I'm getting it for 45 cents, right? Because that 45 cents is the price of a 50 crystal refresh. So I'm getting it for 45 cents every day. I've been at it now for 9 days, and I'm still or 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it's been, and I've gotten some really cruddy RNG. So I think that in some ways, if you pay, you eliminate the time, and if you pay, you eliminate some of the RNG. Excuse me, some of the RNG.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they drop them like him, though, I mean, if that's what becomes the free player is one hard node, I mean, that's going to be another 6 months before people can get anybody to 5-star.
We all got like wigged out. We're like, really great, another guy in Cantina, and so you're spending 200 crystal refreshes a day, and it's still taking, even if you spent both 100 crystal refreshes, you spent all your natural gain on that guy, you're still looking at probably a month to take that character from 2-star, 3-star to 7-star, maybe 6 weeks, depending on how much you push it. So, it's what is 2 hours of your time every day for a month worth? Right. I mean, on some level, you have to make that. I mean, I think what it boils down to is people really wish there was still the Erodium pack around.
Absolutely.
So that you had the ability to pay money and get that character almost instantaneously, but it was somewhere in between it's going to take me a month to get it through shipments, or it's going to take me 4 months to get it through a hard node, or a month and a half to get it through a Cantina node. Can I just pay you a flat fee and get the freaking character, but have it not be a crazy amount? That's really like the niche that's kind of missing in this whole discussion. And to me, that's the real reason for the boycott, is that you're missing this Erodium pack.
There's a gap.
Step. You're basically going from it was in a tournament to it's a chromium, and then once it's and even if they want to put it in chromium, where's that? Okay, it's in chromium for 2 weeks, and then it goes to a Erodium pack for 3 weeks. I think that's the step that's missing. People liked the Erodium pack. Nice. I mean, what do you guys feel? Did you guys like the Erodium pack? Even if you didn't buy it, did you feel like that for some people it had good value?
I was tempted to actually buy the one where you had the option to get all 4 Geonusians. And that was just because, I knew there was a chance to get 4 Geonusians, none of the other characters. there's 100 characters in the game. Well, it was what 80 characters when the Rhodiums were out, but still 4 characters. And what were Rhodiums at? What 1,000 crystals or something like that.
$200 with a little bit of RNG, you could get you could basically get that character to 7
exactly. And you only had a choice of 4 characters. When Chromiums is a choice between 100 in a mix of 100 characters. So not worth it. I mean, the Rhodiums were worth it compared to Chromiums and these new packs that basically, as I said, 750 for 2 characters.
But I mean, what if enough people do spend the 750 on to get this character, and then
Well,
we
if people
get
keep putting the money out there, they're going to keep doing it.
right? I mean, so maybe the protest maybe needs to just be, falling into that second tier of buying them after this first 6 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a business standpoint, if somebody's going to buy a product from you at a higher price point, why would you not
keep pushing it?
Keep pushing that higher price point. I think the problem is that it appears to people who want to buy at the next price point down as price gouging.
Yeah.
And it also appears that pack does not have very good value for not only the vast majority, but for the vast majority. And the concern is that by having this pack at this huge price, that people are going to rage quit the game who put a bunch of money in because they're upset at this price point for this pack. And it's not the first time they've done it. I mean, if you think about it, you got the Millennium Falcon that we had this issue with.
Yeah.
You have this Krennic pack that we have this issue with.
Mm-hmm.
You had Baze when he first went to Chromiums. You now have Churret and Chromiums with the same deal. Potentially, we're going to have a Nihilus pack, a Sith Assassin pack, and a Sith Trooper pack, where if the pricing, and I don't know if there's another post that shows the pricing. I keep getting pings that say that the price is going to be that, but I haven't seen anything yet where it tells us, hey, here's the price for the packs.
There's nothing official out as of this time.
We can only speculate about how it's going to be.
So, I mean, and the other kind of a little bit of an issue is, you've got people who are paying for these packs. That are even paying for your Rhodium. Wedge, when Wedge first came out, before Biggs and Wedge were, synergized.
Holy crap! Okay, I'm sorry. I read it and I had to share. Chirrut can drop in Bronziums.
Kidding?
What?
Seriously?
Yep. Jedi Master Pimp here from ANH CRO in Team Skunk, whatever the heck that is. So just so you guys know, Chirrut can drop in Bronzium. He can. Yeah, we just had a member pull him, going through 200k ally points.
Nice.
Should I go through all my ally points?
Do it.
Yes.
All
Do
right.
it.
I'll start opening packs.
Let's
and see
go.
what
Let's go.
Don't sue him.
Sorry, go back to what you're saying. I just.
Yeah. So now we can
Chirrut
go.
from
Now we
Bronze.
can go duck hunting in Bronziums for Churret. I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna have to pull a bunch of them, but effective. I mean, do we save? Here's another whole question about ally token. Do we save ally tokens or do we have Bronzium Pole Night again? I mean,
doing it right now. We'll see what happens.
right?
Yes
but
and no. I think originally I was going to say no, hold on to them because they say for the foreseeable future, but they're removing the larger ways to get a hold of them. Right. So wait until you can use them. But if you can get Chirrut for Bronziums that you just got for doing dailies for the last couple months, do it.
Do it.
Watch me not get any, but that's all right.
It's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot.
Ooh, I got a soldier.
We're all just hammering on Bronziums right now.
All right.
So you were saying, Grande, before just...
So do we pull our Bronziums or not? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say for right now, do not do anything dumb with spending. I'm kind of taking a wait and see approach. If you don't, here's how I see about making these, the differences. What is 50 crystals worth? 50 crystals at the worst value that you can buy them is worth 45 cents a day. So for 45 cents a day, you know, do you have to get rank 1 every day? For 45 cents a day, do you have to get, you know, for $1.50 a day, can you wait a few weeks and not get top 5 potentially to so that you can wait and see if these characters are really viable?
I'm not seeing Churd as part of the Bronzium pack pool.
Are you enjoying your pack pool? Have you checked chat?
Yeah, I looked at chat as well, and I was going in to try to go double check that.
It's a lie, Finn. Tell them.
Don't do anything.
However, I will say, but Chromium.
No, he's not in there.
Yeah,
he's not in there.
Well, he's not showing, but he's also not showing in. Oh, never mind. There he is. Yep. So he's not in Bronziums. People lied to me. I'm so sorry.
Good thing go all through it. Somebody's trolling Maze Ducky now on Discord, so that he can be like, "Wait! Breaking news!" Oh crap!
I quit. I'm sorry, Ranger.
I pulled a few, but I was looking at like, well, you know. Well,
how sure is this info?
Yeah, I was like, what the
God, what if that would have been 200,000 ally points later?
Yeah, he's like,
I would have had a buttload of low-level gear. I would never have had to farm again.
Yeah. You know, he's gonna be like, I 7-starred Ewok Scout and Snowtrooper.
I would have been like, what's happening? I don't understand.
Oh my god. Oh, he's stupid here.
Anyway,
I think
the lesson is here, kids, is check your sources.
Yeah, okay. The guy looked like I could trust him. I guess not.
So hey, Grande, I wanted to ask you, Grande, what you thought back to the pay for player. What do you think? You know, as somebody involved in the kind of, you know, quote unquote boycott, what is a reasonable price that you are thinking in your head?
So this comes from the guy who's never pulled a Chromium and who farmed a first order Stormtrooper the hard way, right? So I've been a huge proponent of farming. I am not I'm not an crazy. Everybody's PvP server is different. There are some guys who, if they were on my server, would be a top 3 guy, and on their server, they're like, they can maybe get up to rank 22. And then there's some other guys who have some terrible teams, and they're like, yeah, nobody moves me. And I'm like, bro, you wouldn't last 20 seconds on my PvP server. So I think that a lot of it is individual specific, and I think a lot of it is specific based on, you know, what it is you want to accomplish in the game. I'm not going to get mad at somebody either way, whether they spend or they don't spend. I do feel like that not spending for a little bit would probably send a stronger message, especially at these exorbitant prices. That's just me.
Right.
Everybody's going to have to make that decision for themselves. And I definitely would say is, don't go spend your kids' college fund pulling Chromium packs. I mean,
yay! I just got
spend Rangers. Hello, points Paul Bronzians.
Sorry.
So that's.
Hey, you guys were all like, "Yeah, do it."
I think Freelog's still pulling.
So y'all, Freelog's like, "No, I'll get him.
I will get him."
Yeah, I need to spend some time on Bronzium sometimes.
Well, I mean,
they did say for the foreseeable future. So
for the foreseeable future, they also, you know, they also gave themselves a bunch of outs in that pyramid system, which say they don't necessarily have to follow that model, which means we don't have to get turret farmable in the next 3 to 4 weeks to 6 weeks. They could wait 12 weeks and say that they were still basically following that model. I mean, we had characters that never went into shipments and they're still never in shipments that you can't get from shipments, but they're now farmable. So they've skipped steps in the past. I think they could skip steps in the future. We'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, that's my spiel on the boycott. I also don't want to see somebody spend a whole bunch of money and then get discouraged and quit.
Yeah, that's
right.
I mean that probably really makes me more sad than anything. So I hope the quality of life changes, if somebody's PvP payout just really sucks for them, and they've already been doing it a year or 6 months or however long, and they put a bunch of money in the game, I'd rather keep that person as a player, spending a little bit of money, than have them quit because the game's style is not for them. I don't like to see people quit if they enjoy it and they just need a few little minor quality of life changes, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the agenda?
I don't know. We blew our agenda to pieces, my friend.
I did have something I wanted to bring up about Nihilus.
I would say if it's about anything breaking, shut the fuck up.
I feel like you and I are gonna have to have a little
Nihilus is
make
in
up come to
Bronzium.
Jesus
Nihilus
time
is in
after
Bronzium.
I didn't start. I was like, okay, because I'm not. If one of you guys tell me something, I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna treat it as fact. And then all of a sudden, I was like, well, this doesn't seem right. And then I started looking through the characters. I'm like, he's not on there. Why the fuck would he be on there?
I do have breaking news. Stu is playing again.
Get the hell, Stu! You get your monkey ass in here right now.
In chat, Stu says he's playing again. He says he's almost level 82.
Stu, get in this damn.
Someone get him in. They could be like buddies.
What's your breaking news, Mage?
First of all, that I apologize to Ranger. But about Nihilus, his Drain Force ability deals special damage to all enemies with a 50% chance doubled against debuffed enemies to increase their cooldowns by 1. For each cooldown increased, reduce the cooldown of Annihilate by 1. The way that reads, if you have Chirrut, or I guess not Chirrut, but if you have a character that has multiple special abilities that could be on cooldown, each character that does will get multiple procs toward this. In which case, you have Sidious go first, because he's, roughly 300 speed under a Maul Zeta lead?
Yeah.
Have Sidious go first, do his AoE to drop Expose and damage over time.
Mm.
Then, as soon as Nihilus goes, which you would have roughly 230, 240 speed under Maul for the first round, depending on your mods, have him use his special. It's guaranteed to increase cooldowns, at which point Annihilate could be used on round 2. And then, depending on how many cooldowns they have on the remaining living characters, you could use Annihilate every 3rd turn.
Yeah.
So an insta-gib round 2 and a second insta-gib on round 5.
Yeah.
Have
don't
you
think
seen the health as well?
Rounds, though.
Have you seen just to let you know, have you actually had a look at the health and the protection of Nihilus at Gear 11? See, I have.
Yes. He's sitting at 58k total.
That's without mods.
Yeah, that's without mods, and that's almost on par with Sunfac. So just imagine any Sunfac you've ever had to take down, and that's Nihilus. But
he won
every 3 turns instigating you.
But he's not a glass cannon.
Correct. He is a steel cannon.
What the hell?
So basically, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you're doing. When the Nihilus event shows up, you do it.
Yeah, you can at least get this dude to 4-star, because potentially,
he's very viable.
We're all going to be running him at 4-star.
It's 3-star. He's a 3-star activation according to SWGOH.
Right. But I'm just saying, is based on how we got Krennic and how we got Death Trooper, he could come in after you're done with the whole event as 3-star, or he could come in after you're done with the whole event at 4-star.
No, I think we know it's 3.
Yeah, and now his his unlock is 3-star. We don't know if we're going to get extra stars because we did for Krennic.
There is 2 events, isn't there?
Yeah. Okay. But and you're not using him for his ability damage. You're using him for his insta-gib, cooldown increase, and the dispel on basic.
You're
so
also
you don't need him. He's an attacker. Actually, he's a support, but you don't need him 7-star to do his job. He's like Chirrut. He will be perfectly viable at 3-star.
Potentially, you're using him for his one-shot ability. If you need to, if there's one character you need to be able to one-shot in 3 turns.
GK, Barris, 5s.
They can't be revived, can they, either?
No, they cannot be revived.
So potentially you're trying to get rid of Barris. Potentially you're trying to get rid of You're
Death
trying to get rid
Trooper,
of,
technically,
Death
but
Trooper, or you're trying to get rid of Bays, maybe. You're trying to get rid of somebody who counters a whole bunch. You're trying to get rid of Fives or Ayla. I mean, it can go on and on and on about.
Does he have
and
a
that's a
Zeta?
round 2 kill as well. So you don't have to wait very long to just get the pesky guy out of the way.
I think you're gonna have to work him. Yeah, you're gonna have to work him based on, and he's gonna be really good against teams that are super high buffed, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So you need whoever. So I personally see Nihilus popping up a lot.
you could potentially run a team where you're running a guy who on the first turn does ability block, right? And then on the second turn, you've now increased the cooldowns by 1 from 0 to 1 on everything. And then on the third turn, it's annihilate.
Well, I would go for annihilate. Even I would overlap ability block and cooldown increase just to get annihilate round 2. Start that train going.
Yeah, but I think it's only going to be. I mean, we're going to see whenever the thing comes up, whenever those event comes up. I would probably highly suggest that if we get this through events, that you not run your OP squad through there, so you can actually play around with it a little bit
and get a feel for him. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like really, because I got to tell you, I ran through Director Krennic and I ran through the Death Trooper events like that. I mean, I was just like, this is easy peasy, and then I was And I was like, I have no clue what these guys do, because I ran through it with an OP squad rather than trying to run through it with some mid-level guys, and actually get to use the abilities. So then whenever I go up against them in PvP, and I'm like, what is that little dude looking like he's in a whirlpool? I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, wait, that's one of Death Trooper's abilities. Now let me figure out what it does now that it's on everyone I do.
Does do you know his ability? Well, do you know Nihilus's abilities? Do we know if he's got any Zetas yet?
Yes, he does. His leader ability only goes up to 100% health steal, except for the Zeta at level 82 gives you an additional 50%. So the Zeta takes you from 100 to 150% health steal.
I got ya. So yeah, I'm not really interested in his leader, to be honest. So
I am.
Yeah. I
Let
don't know.
me... Oh, sorry.
84. The last one is 80. The level that comes in at 84. His
it adds the unique. It adds
wound in the force.
Yep. At the start of each enemy turn, Nihilus inflicts health down on them for 2 turns.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's at the start of their turn. So basically, if they go first, they're debuffing so that you have an increased chance to land your AoE ability and everything. So that one actually seems potentially really good.
Let's have a look. So is that going to be at the start of the battle?
Yep, at the start of each enemy turn. So OG Han goes first.
Mm-hmm.
He's got health down for the first 2 turns of first 2 rounds. So it's
he's basically dead.
Yeah, so that who uses it now? But that Zeta seems like it is worth it.
On my chart that's using OG Han, and I'm having problems with that team.
Use a Darth Maul Zeta. Solve your problems there. Can't stun what you can't hit.
I need one more Zeta.
If you're using 5 Sith, one of them being Trooper, the stealth counts as a pre-taunt onto Trooper, and as soon as you start using special abilities, he gains the taunt anyway. So I haven't looked at Trooper's health and stuff.
He's quite tanky, if I remember.
Yeah, Sith Trooper has less health and protection than Nihilus.
Whoa, yeah.
And yet he's supposed to be the tank.
Oopsie.
So he's got 4k less protection and only 1k more health.
Okay,
but
so
damn, he needs a whole bunch of purples.
So if we do some theory crafting, okay, so it's the start of his turns, okay, so it inflicts damage over time on a random enemy at the start of each enemy's turn. So we don't really need that Zeta if you're going to be running, like most probably will be Darth Maul Zeta, because that's where you're going to get that quick bang, 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 where it's just going to be one motion if you've got Darth Sidious. So having that there probably isn't going to do much for you. if you're just going.
Except that it helps you beat out a really fast, like it helps you beat out a Rex lead or like a really fast like TFP blocking your Sidious into a Rex lead, something like that. Because then each time they start, they get the debuff, which then benefits your Sith.
Got ya.
So it's not as game changing as Vader or Maul Zeta, but
Yeah.
I think if you're planning on doing Nihilus under Maul, it's worth investing in for your second or third Zeta.
So I was thinking of doing Darth Sidious because you're gonna get that. You're gonna get like a ton of health. Wow! Imagine his health with under a Darth Nihilus lead as well. The amount of
Oh,
stuff
now
Darth
there's
Sidious gets.
Whose health?
Hey, did you see how
Zeta.
fast Sith Assassin is? 151,
150,
almost as fast as Jawa Engineer, almost as
Yep.
fast as Churret with no mods. I mean, not Zem Wessel fast,
but
think
it's
Darth
still
TIE Fighter
Sidious.
pilot fast, but still really freaking fast.
Yeah, I'm thinking Darth Sidious.
yep. I
That's what
definitely.
I'm
So
taking
you
on
got
team.
Maul, Sidious, and Nihilus.
And you need to have Palpatine as well. Well, Palpatine needs to be there if you're using the Maul Zeta. It's a
Okay,
must.
and then you need somebody who's not gonna get stealthed.
I think
So
I think it's Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
What Smithy D said right away. Because if you got Kylo Ren, doesn't he get retribution at the start or something with his Zeta?
No, when he does his AOE, he gets retribution. But the thing is with Kylo Ren, or you could use Sunfac.
Sunfac would work out well. So
Yeah.
so you got Sunfac, everybody's stealthed, and they have to hit Sunfac.
He counters and dispels and
So basically, they have to hit Sunfac right away. Boop, boop, you know,
Or you could still use Baze. Baze is still going to have a retribution as an opening
you
as
can
well.
still use Baze, and that would
And I
be an
think-
auto toner.
I think Baze and Sunfac are better than Kylo simply because you're like, you're not always going to have stealth on the Sith, and so having somebody who can actually taunt would be beneficial.
Hmm. That's true. But the only problem is with all the B2s and everything, that's probably the issue when it comes to having a taunter.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
just
that
like
would-
I said, I just went up against Mace, against Maul, and B2 just made everything not even important anymore.
But that's the thing is like if they've got a B2 and he's already making your stealth
You're trying to make it work on
irrelevant, so that they
defense,
don't have
right?
to target Kylo.
I mean, we know this team will work on offense. You're trying to make it work on defense.
Yeah, and somebody brings B2 to the table, Kylo's not going to help you any more than Sunfac or Baze.
So Finity in the chat is saying Zader, Nihilus, Boba, Trooper, and TIE Fighter pilot. They could work.
Do you need Boba?
No, because you've got Nihilus there, haven't you?
Yeah.
It'd be a
Nihilus
waste.
is doing that. Nihilus is dispelling. Oh, so then he swapped in and put Savage Oppress in the team.
Infinity, go away.
So Nihilus is going to put basically that cooldown is like an ability block. If it's increasing the cooldown by 1 on the debuffed on the debuffed opponents, it's pretty much an ability block. So if you put Boba Fett in there and Nihilus, they're doing the same job essentially.
And the great thing about it, it's not a debuff. It can't be dispelled by Barris,
Which one?
Chirrut, Rex, because it's a cooldown increase.
Good night, Rex teams.
Yeah, so they can't cleanse it.
Rex, he's a counter to it. Wow, that's crazy. And what cooldown is it?
So definitely Nihilus. I would recommend start collecting the gear for him for people listening.
So I mean, we haven't even talked about putting a wicked healer on the team. Well, because they are immune to all healing effects, so you cannot have Nihilus with Barris because Barris won't heal them.
And I think that's a really, really
I think
smart
that's
play
on
by
purpose.
Barris equalizes health. She doesn't heal.
Right.
Except for the
she does the 20%.
Right, but so we're doing a health equalization that probably still works.
Yeah.
Correct.
But we're not healing at all. We're just equalizing.
Yep, and I think that's weak. Because part of the thing when you have 50, 60K health pools, is that the equalize would then give it immediately, but you're weakening everybody else. They're not making back the health that they just gave away, which is what normally happens.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's
So-
only with Nihilus
No
lead.
point running Barris at all in that team. So I still think Zor, Darth Maul, all day long, because that team right there, right? If we put the two teams together, and for example, that it says that it's immune to any, what does it say? Sorry, let me have a look. So it says, oh sorry, it went down a bit on here. Lord of Hunger. So it says that they're going to lose their protection. They're immune to all healing effects, but are they immune to anti-healing effects? Okay, that's, I guess,
What
the
do you
issue
mean?
you're going to have here. So they're immune to healing effects. Is that anti-healing as well? So if you put an anti-heal debuff on them, will they still be able to steal health?
You mean like healing, if you place healing immunity on them?
Yeah.
So this would be a soft heal immunity that blocks everything but health steal. You can still place healing immunity on them to prevent their health steal.
So for example,
In-
if you were against this team and say you had a Krennic, for example, you've got Krennic and you've got this leadership, and then you've got Death Trooper. Death Trooper's then AoE then gonna put down heal immunity. You've also got Kylo Ren on his basic, so that's then shouldn't that really be stopping the health steal because they won't be able to heal? Is that right? Unless it's a whole new debuff, well, a whole new buff that we haven't seen yet in the game.
Health
It's-
still kind of like health recovery.
Yeah.
It's not exactly healing. It's the same as Ahsoka has. You can
Yeah,
put
but you can't get it. It
healing
seems like
immunity on
Darth Maul,
Ahsoka,
isn't it?
but
Oh,
you
yeah, but
still recover.
Health steal is a healing effect, and healing immunity prevents healing effects.
Yeah.
So you couldn't health steal. So yeah, Death Trooper and Kylo's basic and even Sidious basic are
And Nihilus's Zeta as well.
yeah. Wait, no. His is health down.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Health down on the opposite team is still going to work.
Well, yeah, it'll still make.
All I got to say is that this basically gets this Annihilate gets rid of the timeout teams.
Oh, it guaranteed. Yeah, you cannot time out because
the timeout team is not going to work. It's not going to work very well anymore.
it wouldn't work at all as long as you can protect him.
So yeah, so with his leader, so even though he's getting all this health still and all this extra health and everything like this, in theory they're still very slow. So you're gonna have that Sidious that's quick, and then after that, then you've also got the new Sith. But versus kind of like teams that are gonna ability block, even if you had, again, if we're going back to the Darth Maul Zeta versus this team with Nihilus on the opposite team, the Darth Maul Zeta is gonna crush it. Because it's just going to bang, 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 increase the cooldowns.
I mean, we know that if you're on offense and you're going up against Darth Maul, you have to bring B2. Basically, what this is doing is it's basically making you have to expand your roster to have teams you put in on defense and have teams you put in on offense. You probably would not bring B2 on defense, but you would more than likely bring B2 on offense. It's the difference. And I've said this before. You have to change your teams based on what you're fighting. I mean, this is the same paper, rock, scissors, right? So if you see a guy and he's got something up and you're like, oh, I need to bring Rex. Oh, I need to bring this team. You can't just be like, my team is that. There's no more my team is. My team is this when I need it to be this, and my team is that when I need it to be that. Or it's at least like this is your main team, and then you sub in 2 or 3 key guys or 2 or 3 specialists based on.
And the problem is I think against, like, for anybody who's not in, November, December 2015 or early 2016 shard, and you're not having a lot of whales to contend with, not everybody's going to have B2. But he's becoming necessary because of all of the pre-taunts and now the Darth Maul Zeta. And so I don't know, I see B2 being a common factor in a lot of teams now, and so I don't know that Darth Maul Zeta is reliable on defense. because so many people.
I don't think it is. I don't think Darth Maul Zeta is totally reliable when we're talking about on offense. And I could tell you that based on my own shard, that dude can climb. That dude can climb out of what I call the grinder, which is spot 30 through spot 15, and he can climb all the way up and make it happen. The problem is the guy can't hold for squat.
Mm.
And maybe it's mods. I mean, maybe this goes all the way back to mods again, and it goes back to, we need these. You have to have really good mods to make stuff work. I will tell you that on my shard, the guy with the best mods does not move nearly as much as the rest of us who have okay mods, and I think that has to do with the fact that mods matter. I mean,
maybe it's mod or just the problem of middle-aged men.
Okay. All right, so we've been streaming for 2 hours.
It doesn't even feel like it doesn't even feel like 2 hours, bro.
There's still more to talk about too. Like,
oh yeah, but we're going to continue this in our Discord. So what we do is let's. I was doing GW on there just to keep the entertainment going on the stream while you guys were talking, because it was pretty.
Because we're not entertaining.
No. That okay, Ducky. You've lost your privileges to say anything for the night.
He should have lost that with the Bronzian pack.
I know. But...
Yeah, he did. He lost it. Hey, breaking news! Tim Ross.
Hey, I'm still pulling Bronzians.
Yeah. Keep making fun of me.
Trelog's still trying to get him.
Yeah.
Man,
but we're going to continue this. We're going to continue this discussion in the Discord that's linked here in the bottom of the stream. You can go there to come join us. We all hang out afterwards, talk this. Stu, if you're listening still, brother, get your monkey ass in there.
I mean, chat went crazy. We didn't even go through questions, bro. But it's been way too long. Like,
there's a lot to cover.
I mean, there's so many questions. I don't even think I could start on the questions. And we go all over the same stuff again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you like what you see, so we need your support. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers. So please, if you got a moment, if you're new to the channel, or if you're just your first time, or you've been here for a while, not only give us a thumbs up, but go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, give us a thumbs up for this video. If you want to learn more, you can go to our website. You can also follow us at twitter.com and Reality Skewed Gamers, and we also have a Facebook channel, and we have our own merchandise, which MJ's lovely wife has modeled for us.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about MJ and his wife.
I tried to get her to come on, but she said maybe next time. She was being a little shy tonight. So
she can model sexy underwear, but she can't come on a live stream. That's all right. She's earned the right.
She'll come next time.
Yeah, she has the right to never come on if she ever wants to, because she's done more than enough.
She's on every week. She's on every week.
I just want to know real quick while we're at the end here, how did you convince her to do that?
I don't know. It really wasn't any convincing.
Oh wow.
We had mentioned it earlier, when I first got him, and then we were just on vacation, and I don't know how it came up. I was just sitting there out on the patio listening to one of your streams, I think, and then she just was like, "Well, they're not any more revealing than a swimsuit. I don't care." I said, "Well, fucking A, let's do it." And the rest is history.
This history, man. That stream stopped. I mean, people were like, "No, move to left." People were just dying.
She's laughing.
Yeah, I know. She's a sweetheart. We appreciate her. But we want to give first shout out to Prelog and MJ for our fan viewer appreciation for being on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, you have to come by more often. You have an open invitation to be on anytime you want.
Absolutely.
And then now let's go. And then there's Mage Ducky, who doesn't have usually anything to pimp, but I want to see if he's got something to pimp this time. Mage Ducky, do you have anything you want to pimp?
Yes, this Sunday, Ranger and I are going to be starting up our weekly ships discussion, whatever the heck we're calling it thing. And so get on out. I think it's, 8 Eastern, we said?
Is it 8 Eastern or 8 Central? What your time?
I think it was 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Okay. Cool.
And we're not entirely sure what we're going to do specifically, but we are going to be there to answer questions. So if you got questions, you want to review different builds, how to target, who to pick for going after whatever come to the stream, and we'll go over all that fun stuff because ships are life.
They are awesome,
Except
awesome,
if you're
awesome.
Affinity.
Yeah, I think he just does one. Smithy D,
Yo,
tell the folks out there in TV land what you got going on.
not a lot recently.
Liar.
No, I haven't. Just videos here, videos there. No, I try and upload every day. But at the minute, I'm still not sponsored by EA, so I don't
Bastards.
have
What are you
any.
waiting for? He's amazing. Sponsor him.
I don't have any kind of like exclusive content, and I'm probably going to fall a little bit down the food chain on that because normally my channel's been known for having kind of like Zetas and all this stuff and getting it off for my guild mates, friends helping me out. But I don't think I can compete with someone that's going to have access to and a dev account pretty much. So I don't know. I don't know where it leaves me, to be honest.
You do great videos. That's a bunch of
Yeah,
nonsense.
he does.
If you haven't, like and subscribe his channel. You can find him easily. It's Smithy D. He's the only one on YouTube. I've heard your spiel enough that I can repeat it, Smithy.
Well, and he's got this really great stream Saturday too.
Yes.
So
the Jedi Academy on Saturday, which me and Grande are a part of. All we do on that stream is we just answer your questions. I think we're going to have a lot of questions this Saturday, Smithy, because there's a ton of people that come to that as well as this stream, and we don't answer as many questions here. We just more of an information and talk about it. But that's a chance for you to. We try to get through as many questions as we can. So come join us Saturday at what time, Smithy? We have a set time yet?
10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern. So if you want, it's really good. Warrior from Team Instinct's on there, me, Grande, Smithy, and then I apologize, I forget the young woman's name that's on there as well.
Bella.
Bella, thank you.
Darth
Bella. She's amazing. She's from Germany. She's a hoot. So come join us there. But I think that's where we're going to be at. So everybody just jump over to Discord. Let's try to get as many people in there as we can. Stu, if you're listening, get in there because I would say Stu's retarded. you will enjoy yourself immensely.
Prince Adam.
Prince Adam.
Not again.
God, that was so great.
Relog loves it.
You look like you're a white wine kind of woman. Oh God! So come join us on the Discord. So on behalf of myself, Grande, Finity the Troll, and everybody else from Reality Gamers, thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.